Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of People of Distinction, the talk that gives an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, peopleofdistinction.org for more info, or you can always email me directly at benji@alcoleenterprises.com. And on the line with us today, we have Mother Theosophia Rose. We're going to be discussing her amazing book, Theosophia's Wisdom School, The Magic of Healing Revealed. Available for purchase through Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, AuthorReputationPress.com. But people, listen, if you want to gather everything that she has in store, check out her personal site, okay? Now, for purchasing of the book, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, AuthorReputationPress.com, those are the places you have to go. But if you want to gather more information on Mother Theosophia herself, more information on this fantastic narrative to really get you prepped up to go and purchase the book, you got to check out the site, MotherTheosophiaRose.com. There, as I said, you'll find plenty of information to really help buffer the backing. And then when you go and purchase the book, you are set for the ride. So once again, that's MotherTheosophiaRose.com. And if you haven't figured it out already, Mother Theosophia was brought to us by that same publishing company, Author Reputation Press. I'm telling you, people, they're one of the best in the business to do it. So if you or anybody you know have a book that they'd like moved, contact ARP and have their fantastic team move it for you. You can find out more information on them, once again, at AuthorReputationPress.com. And people, listen, it is an absolute pleasure to have Mother Theosophia here on the line. Now, the moment you start to do any research on her narrative, you instantly understand what we're discussing today. And right there in the subtitle, it's going to give you a good understanding. The magic of healing revealed. Well, listen, one question that was really posed to me or posed to myself when I was doing research is, am I a spiritual healer? And I want to ask you that same question. Are you a spiritual healer? Well, if you're like me, you probably don't know. You probably aren't really aware. So this is what I want you to do. When you head on over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, AuthorReputationPress.com, you purchase this fantastic book. It's going to be just a plethora of wonderful education and just information, okay? And it's really going to help you get down to the bottom of it. Because at the end of the day, listen, it may not be for me. And I personally have never experienced any notions that I myself am a healer, but I promise you I have encountered so many people that have had questions like that. They just felt that there was something different about them. And when it came to their spirituality, they just felt compelled. They felt so moved in a way to really embark upon this journey that they weren't able to put their fingers on. But they knew that there was something lingering. They knew that there was something there. And this book is exactly what they needed. And this is what you need as well. And this is why I'm so excited to have Mother Theosophia here on the line, because she's the expert. She's written the book, she's done the research, and she's really going to help us get to the heart of those questions and really help us gain a better understanding. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Mother Theosophia, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share what I have come across and know.
Absolutely. Listen, the pleasure is all ours, okay? And we are looking forward to this just as much as you are. So thank you for being a guest. And listen, you had to lay the foundation for us to invite you on the network. So it truly is a pleasure for us to be able to do so. Now, before we go into your book, I know we have a lot of information to cover, but I want to learn a little bit more about your background. So let's start there. Tell our listening audience a little bit more about yourself.
Well, it began when I was small. I could see the little people. I would go spend days up at the pond speaking to all the people. Jesus would come down in a balloon. He would take me up in the balloon and we'd walk in the clouds. So from an early time, I was very awake and aware of things people didn't see. My father was a seventh son, and that's the gift that comes down through the seventh son, is a spiritual one. So it was after being a teenager and all, and about when I was 31, I had 5 car accidents in a row to wake me back up. My
Wow.
chiropractor sent me to her mother, who she said, she does this weird kind of work. I'm like, what do you mean? She says, just go. While I'm laying on the table and she's working on me, doing muscle testing, from about 20 books, in the middle, a book fell out and it was Opening to Channeling. And that's when my life changed, because I felt so different. I was out of pain. I didn't feel anything in me that I felt before. It had all changed, and I knew I had to do this to help everybody else. So that's how my journey began, and I just kept learning. It's been 34 years that I've been studying and working and helping people, and it's been an amazing journey as the gifts keep developing for me. As you grow, more evolves itself. It takes light consciousness for a gift to appear. So the more you heal yourself, the more you grow, the more you know.
Guys, listen, that is a way to start a show. My goodness. I'm telling you, we could not have selected a more perfect embodiment of a person of distinction. Mother Theosophia, thank you very much for that. And without further ado, Theosophia's Wisdom School, The Magic of Healing Revealed. Tell us a little bit more about your book.
My book is about 4 people who have noticed they have a gift of maybe hearing something, seeing something, have a feeling in their heart that there's something missing. They know they belong to something else. That's the person that I wrote this book for, to give them an idea of what the beginning's about and not to be afraid of it. And I go through in a great detail on certain things to start to learn to do. So it's for that person that's curious and maybe doesn't know really what it is, and I explain what it is.
There you have it. Now, Mother Theosophia, you talk about these 4 individuals that are discussed within the book. Now, are these actual people that you know, or are these fictional characters that you create to really embody people in society?
No, the people in the book are actually clients that I worked on and that I know.
Listen, what I'm gaining from this is the information is coming from a very knowledgeable place. I mean, these are practices that are tried and true. I absolutely love it. Now, you talked a little bit already about inspiration and why you felt compelled to embark upon this journey and really put this book out for the masses. Now, I want to still talk about inspiration, but step back and take it from a broader perspective. When it comes to creative writing, was this something that was always a hobby of yours growing up? Were there artists that inspired you? Talk to us a little bit more about that inspiration for creative writing.
For the writing, I was always told in school I was a writer, because I would use words in unique ways and be able to explain scenes in a way people couldn't. But my inspiration for this book was the people I worked with. Their main question to me was, how do you do what you do? I feel so different. And I started seeing the book in my mind, and I knew that that's how it would help people to get out, because our world needs a lot of help now and light.
Well, listen, what a fantastic segue that you've established, Mother Theosophia. And guys, listen, we're going to cover this next section, but you know what you have to do. If you want to gather all of the information, I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, authorreputationpress.com. You got to purchase your copies, okay? We're only going to scratch the surface here today. But Mother Theosophia, I really want to take an opportunity for anybody that's out there listening in right now that is going through their own process and, maybe having similar things that you had when you began on your journey, where it's like you just feel like there's something missing. You feel like there's something there that you can't quite put your finger on. How does one even begin to really put the pieces together?
Well, I believe first they have to find a teacher, a mentor. Certainly they can call me. I work all over the world, and talk with someone who does know what they're talking about. And you might find in the 15 minutes all the gifts you have and all that you can do, and you weren't aware of it. You were just living life and things were happening, but didn't have the idea that you could form that into a way that could help other people, or that your heart even wanted to, but it does.
Now let's talk about some of that research that you did. This is clearly a long time in the making. Now, in addition to your personal experience and things that you've gone through not only yourself, but also with some of your clients, what type of research did you do in preparation for this book?
I did a lot of, sometimes 10 clients a day. And what I found out is we all have the same issues, no matter what's out there. Maybe some of you have already healed them, but there's some that haven't. But I would sometimes a whole week would end up someone that didn't even know the other people, it would come about to be the same issue. It was really remarkable to understand the connectedness, because we have 144,000 parts of us to turn into all light, to our ascension. And we all have the same 144,000. Each of us may have a different selection of how that looks. That's what our journey's about and who we chose our parents to be.
Mm-hmm. You know, Mother Theosophia, what would you say was a highlight for you in writing the book? Or if not a highlight, maybe something that surprised you that you weren't anticipating before you began?
I think the highlight was knowing that as I wrote, God was with me. It was easy. The words came.
Powerful, short and sweet, but very, very powerful. I love it. You know, as we start to close out of this fantastic interview, last few questions here. I think it's safe to assume the answer to this next question, but you know what happens when you assume, so I'm not going to do that to you. I have you here on the line. I'm going to go directly to the source. Who would you say is your intended audience with this book, and what is the main message that you're really hoping that they take from it?
Well, my message is to help those people who are not becoming awake, that don't know the gifts they have, and to help them, not for just them, but for everybody in the world, that we all need to find out what makes us tick inside. And it's knowing how to balance your emotions, work with your chakras and your aura. And you'd be surprised how different I've been able to see and be blessed, how people change and their whole lives change, and it becomes easier and they have faith. And it's just amazing. That's what drives me.
I love it. I love it. And listen, we know about your background. We know about the history of this book leading to the publication of it. Well, I want to know now about the future. Please tell me this is not the only one and there's another book on the horizon.
Actually, I have shifted what I do some, and now I do mentoring with people all around the world. Wow. And that has been yet to take it to another level. Someone who knows gifts already that they have, I work with them on a weekly basis and retune them to even enhance it more and to give them new things that they didn't even have an awareness of. It'll be about mentoring, what I've discovered.
And for our listening audience right now, for anybody that wants to take advantage of the mentoring that you have, how would they go about doing so? Is there information provided through your website?
Yes, my phone number and my website and my email are all on there. You can just send me an email or call me. But there's a lot of healing involved. Sometimes people don't always understand that why everybody has the same gift. It depends on what you've healed, what you've let go, how much you love yourself as to how much of that gift of God's magic through you that can flow.
People, I'm telling you, this is a movement, okay? This is so much bigger than just a book. This is an absolute movement, and I'm here for it. I love it. Last question here for you, Mother Theosophia. As I mentioned to you before, I'm an artist myself, and I'm in a different medium, but I do love having this platform to be able to pay it forward in a sense, right, to other artists listening in. And you are someone that has written the book now, branching on to mentorship, but I want to focus on writing for a second. For any new writers out there listening in, what are some words of wisdom that you can offer them about the journey they're getting ready to embark upon?
Don't see it as difficult. It's an easy thing. If you have something you want to write about, keep writing little notes, put them all together, and then put them in the order, and then you have your book.
I love it. I love it. People, listen.
And I want to say to you, I do sound healing now also. Because you're a singer, right?
I am not a singer. No, my father is. I'm an actor and a filmmaker. I unfortunately was never given that artistry. When it comes to music, I can sing in the shower probably better than anyone. But in public, it's not for me.
Well, you'd be surprised what sound does.
No, it's interesting. I have always been, again, being that my father is a musician, I was raised in music, and I've always had such an appreciation for music because I understand what it takes to create a song, to create a track. Now, I've always been someone that, ironically enough, has really, in moments of frustration, in moments of depression, or whatever the case may be, when I'm going through a dark time, I've actually utilized music as a form of therapy for myself. And it's always been something, not every time, right? I mean, sometimes different things are needed. But I remember going back to an early point, and I'm not sure if this is what you're talking about in terms of music therapy, but I've utilized music myself as almost a therapeutic process to help me through tough times. Is that similar to what you're leaning towards?
Well, it's somewhat the idea. I would be guided and maybe even sing like language or simply make a tone, but have it unwind the pattern we're working on, and it's gone. It's becoming the most effective.
That is beautiful. Listen, it's ironic that, again, I was doing similar things to that without even really knowing. Yeah. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And
that's
again,
kind of exactly what I talked about.
Right.
I said that's exactly what I talked about. People doing things and don't know there's something powerful.
And this is why your book is an absolute necessity. People, I'm going to turn it back around and I'm going to say it again. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, AuthorReputationPress.com. Gather more information from MotherTheosophiaRose.com. Set up a mentorship establishment with her. Whatever you need to do, this book is just the beginning. I'm telling you, and I truly mean this. This book is a movement. I said it before. I'm going to say it again. It's so much bigger than just picking up the book and reading it from cover to cover. You would gain so much just by doing that. But I promise you, this is meant to lead you down a path. And there's so much more that it offers other than just the words on the page. You need to head over there. Theosophia's Wisdom School is the title you need to pick up, and Mother Theosophia Rose is the author you need to thank for bringing it to your table. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. A wonderful resource to add to your shelf, an even better gift to add to someone else's. So you know where to go. Mother Theosophia, this has been an absolute pleasure. Such an honor. I truly mean that. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
Thank you for having me. Many blessings.